Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode, podcast. I don't even know what it is officially, but of the Game News Roundup, where we go over the latest VGChartz estimates, if there are new estimates to go over, monthly sales comparisons, and any other random gaming news over the past bunch of days. Since it's been about 5 days since the last one, it'll be news over the last 5 days. And then, of course, the next one might be in a couple days because of a Nintendo Direct and PlayStation State of Play. So yeah, at the time of this recording being Monday, September 12th, tomorrow, of course by the time this actually goes up on YouTube, the Nintendo Direct would have already happened. But Nintendo Direct tomorrow, September 13th at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. UK time. You'll be able to watch on YouTube and Nintendo.com. The Nintendo Direct is about 40 minutes will feature about 40 minutes of new information, mainly focused on Nintendo Switch games launching this winter. So games coming out this holiday and I guess through maybe March of next year, we might guess. What are we going to see? Well, we'll find out. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll know already. But yeah, Nintendo Direct tomorrow. And also State of Play tomorrow. But this one's a bit later, so if you're watching this one within the first few hours on YouTube, you're good. September 13th, it'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. UK time. It'll be available to watch on Twitch and YouTube. Nintendo Direct was 40 minutes, or will be 40 minutes. The State of Play will be around 20 minutes long and feature 10 upcoming games from Japanese partners, along with a few other surprises from developers all around the world. So 20 minutes, 10 games, mainly from Japanese partners, and then a few games from other developers around the world. Games coming out that are for the PS5, PS4, and PlayStation VR 2 tomorrow. We'll see. Again, 20 minutes, 10 games. That's an average of 2 minutes per game. I have a feeling some games might be a bit longer, some might be a bit less, but we'll find out tomorrow. So, anyways, shall we quickly get into the VGChartz Estimates? So, we are now into the first week of September. September is generally what we consider a 5-week month, as there are 52 weeks in a year, and 4 months usually get an extra 5th week, and September is one of those months. So week ending September 3rd. Same order as similar sales to last week. Switch, PS5, Series X and S, and then PS4 and Xbox One sales winding down rather quickly. So yeah, Switch, number 1. 317,000 estimated sales worldwide. 97,000 in North America, 73,000 in Europe, and 98,000 in Japan. Splatoon 3 is huge in Japan. I mean, I knew it was big, but man, holy crap. And this is technically the week before Splatoon 3 comes out, but there was a Nintendo Switch OLED themed that came out without Splatoon 3 bundled in, but it is sold like mad, like crazy. So yeah, it's just like, holy crap. The sales are nuts. But we'll get into the Splatoon 3 stuff after we go through the VGChartz estimates. But yeah, PS5 in second, 92,000 in North America, 83,000 in Europe. So PS5 was number 1 in Europe. 20,000 in Japan. It's about 237,000 worldwide. Series X and S, almost 91,000 in North America. Again, you look... What has been in recent weeks, sales have been fairly close between the Switch, PS5, and Series X and S in North America. Yeah, Series X and S, 55,000 in Europe, 5,400 in Japan, 182,000 worldwide. PS4, almost 3,000 worldwide. Xbox One, 267. Again, these are all estimated sales, subject to change as more data becomes available. Adjustments do occur. And lifetime sales, we got the Switch up to an estimated 112.37 million, almost 23 million for the PS5, 16.83 million for the Series X and S. And going into the breakdown article here, so comparing current gen to the last gen, same week, so the PS5 versus the PS4 and the Xbox Series X and S versus the Xbox One for the same equivalent week, which would be the week ending September 5th, 2015 for last gen. PS5 is currently, gen over gen for that same week is down by over 76,000 units, while the Series X and S is up over the Xbox One by over 73,000 units. The PS4 for the same week had sold about 313,000 units, and Xbox One almost 110,000 units. And the week ending September 5th, 2015. And then year-over-year sales change. So week ending September 3rd versus the same week a year ago, we got the Switch. Sales are actually up 33,000 units, so almost 12% year-over-year. Mainly due to the Switch OLED-themed edition that came out. Sales are up quite a bit in Japan year-over-year, up a little bit that we have right now in the U.S., and flat or down in different countries in Europe. And PS5 year-over-year is down almost 11,000 or 4.4%. But considering it was down by 30, 40, 50% for that first quarter of the year, it's PS5 stock is improving and has been showing almost, better improvement. Not quite every week, but overall, the last couple months, you've seen stocks on the uptick. And this is also the first week of the PS5 price increase. The U.S. didn't get a price increase. In Japan, price increase is not until the middle of September, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the world already had its price increase. But with it selling out already, that price increase probably meant it'll probably keep selling out. It might meet demand sooner, and then some people might end up waiting till the price goes back down. I don't know. We'll see over the next few weeks. That initial week, it doesn't say much. Maybe by the end of September, we'll get a better idea. If PS5 stocks so happens to be a lot better, all of a sudden you're seeing more PS5 stock available in stores and not selling out as quickly, then you get a better idea. But it could also be, stock improving. But yeah, and year over year, Series X and S is up 52,000, 40% year over year. So Xbox, even though it stays in third place, sales are still doing strong. We're at a point where we're going to have 3 successful consoles on the market. The Switch could end up being the best-selling video game console of all time. The PS5, while it's down on the PS4, should still cross 100 million lifetime. Series X and S it's going to definitely barring a catastrophe, should he have no problem outselling the 50 million, of the Xbox One, potentially outsell the 360, the best-selling Xbox console of all time, maybe hit 100 million by the end of the generation, as once its games start coming out, we should hopefully see sales getting an uptick, next year with Starfield and whatnot. But yeah, also year over year, unsurprisingly, PS4 is down almost 25,000 units. Xbox One is down 4,300 units. Yeah, almost 90% drop year over year for PS4, 94% drop for the Xbox One. But of course, Xbox One has been discontinued, and it's just the last remaining stock that's available. That is what it is selling right now, which is why, it ain't much. And same with PS4. It's looking like it's been discontinued, and it's whatever stock is left, and we're going to be seeing sales dwindle. It's probably under 1,000 in the next coming weeks. But yeah, week-on-week sales. So this current week compared to the previous week, you got the Switch sales are down by nearly 29,000 units again week-on-week. But it's still over still over 300,000, and it's still up year over year. PS5 sales are up by a little over 1,000 units week-on-week, so practically flat. Just up slightly. And Series X and S sales are up by nearly 6,000 units week over week. And 2022 sales year-to-date, Switch, again, still continues to outperform everyone else, almost selling double of the other two. Selling more than double of the other ones, or selling almost equivalent to the other two combined. 10.5 million for the Switch, almost 6 million for the PS5, and almost 5.3 million for the Series X and S. Again, 2022 estimated sales year-to-date. And moving on from the VGChartz latest estimates, I guess we actually take a quick look here. The weekly sales here, lifetime sales here, and then the Americas, which is U.S., Canada, and Latin America. While on that front page of the website is really just U.S. and Canada sales. So we can see U.S., Canada, basically all the Americas were within 10,000 units estimated sales of the big 3. While in Europe, PS5 is number 1. Switch is about 10,000 behind. Series X and S 55,000. Asia, which Japan, mainland Asia, Middle East, and whatnot, all combined. Switch continues to dominate in that region, especially mainly due to Japan. 126,000 estimated. Switch sold 44,000 for the PS5, about half that for the Series X and S. And Oceania, which I would admit is probably is the place we get the least amount of data, so to extrapolate to get more accurate estimates. Well, yeah. Switch, 11,000, 8,400 for the PS5, 6,200 for the Series X and S. And you can see PS4 and Xbox One sales are just about done. They're just about done. So moving on to monthly sales comparison. Now that we got all the weeks out for August, we got the first two sales comparisons, which would be the ones for Japan. I like to wait for the monthly report for Europe to come out to do any necessary adjustments. For Europe, the same with the U.S. And then once those are out, I'll do the U.S. comparisons, the Europe comparisons, and the worldwide comparisons. But Japan, we get weekly data that's more accurate. So I'd like to do those first. So here we go, comparing Xbox Series X and S versus the Xbox 360 sales comparison in Japan. And yes, Xbox has ever done well in Japan. 360 is still the best-selling Xbox ever in Japan, but it only sold about 1.6 million lifetime in Japan. So yeah, the Series X and S continues to trail behind the 360 in Japan, but the gap has been shrinking over recent months. Over the last bunch of months, 1, 2, 3, 4, last 5 months, the gap has shrunk from a little over 200, was that maybe 215, 220,000, to now 126,000. So it is closed by not quite half over the last 5 months or so. But you can see this comparison here. Gap got its widest, and it's been slowly catching up. And then here we got lifetime sales here of the 360. And then get the Xbox One here, which basically kind of flatlined, and Series XS is sold quite a bit more, and it should with its current pace, it has a chance of outselling the original Xbox by the end of the year. Potentially, as long as sales remain good, it's a chance. I'm not saying it's high. This is a low chance. And it should no problem doing it by sometime next year. And then will it outsell the 360? Well, we'll see. 360 at some point did get some decent bumps with exclusive games like Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon being JRPGs. And then another comparison, we've got the Nintendo Switch versus the DS in Japan. Switch still has a ways to go, but again, it has closed the gap from over 8 million down to 4.5 million. So the gap has shrunk by almost half. Well, then again, of course, that is over the last 30 months. Almost 3 years the gap has been shrinking. And then those weird upticks there and downticks is when the holidays happen, because I believe they don't quite line up, because the 66 month for the Switch is August 2022, and for the DS is May 2010. So currently the Switch is 4.5 million behind the DS in Japan. However, over the last year, it has closed the gap by 1 million. And also the Switch ended up selling about 33 million lifetime in Japan. And the Switch is about 7 million away. At this point, DS sales, if it's still 33 million, we're talking about less than 3 million sales left out of the DS, and Switch should easily be closing the gap. And we'll see how sales go. I mean, sales have gone crazy the last couple weeks in Japan due to the Switch OLED model that came out. Sales have gone crazy, which shows how big Splatoon 3 is. Speaking of Splatoon 3, it is absolutely sold like hotcakes, to say the least. It has set the record for the biggest debut ever in Japan. Ever. Biggest debut ever for a game in Japan. 3.45 million units sold in its first 3 days in just Japan. If that was worldwide, I'd be like, oh, that's a really good launch. That's great for Splatoon 3. That's just Japan. It's just crazy. So yeah, Nintendo announced Splatoon 3 set a new record for the biggest debut in Japan for any Nintendo Switch game in its first 3 days with sales of 3.5 million units. The figure does include digital units. But it's also, well, they did mention it's also the biggest debut of all time. We've got 2010's Pokemon Black and White, which sold 2.64 million units in its first week, retail only. And Animal Crossing New Horizons, we do know, sold about 1.88 million units at retail. And while digital sales really aren't known, Nintendo did say Splatoon 3 was the biggest Switch launch ever. And obviously Animal Crossing New Horizons is a Switch game. So we know for a fact Splatoon 3, biggest launch ever in Japan. I don't know if anyone saw that coming. Like, holy crap. As I said, 3.5 million units. I would assume that would have been worldwide. And then I did a double take and realized it said Japan. Before I wrote the article up, you know. It's just like, okay, that is good. Splatoon 3 is big in Japan. In the UK, it was less so. It actually sold. This is retail sales only. It sold a little bit less than Splatoon 2 did at launch. Mind you, digital is a bigger percent of sales now than in 2017, but there are more Switch consoles sold now than again in 2017. So moving on from sales stuff, we have 343 Industries studio head Bonnie Ross is leaving the company after leading Halo for 15 years, that she announced over on Twitter. Bonnie Ross said, while I had hoped to stay with Halo until we release the winter update, I believe that is in November, I'm letting you know I will be leaving 343 and attending to a family medical issue. Hopefully, it's nothing, I mean, with her leaving, that can't be a good sign. Hopefully, it's nothing crazy serious, and whoever is having medical issues, wish them a speedy recovery, quick recovery. But yeah, Ross added, I am incredibly proud of the work everyone at 343 has done with Halo Infinite, the Master Chief Collection, and the Halo television series, and so much more. It has been an honor to serve alongside the team for the last 15 years and to be a part of a universe that I love. Excuse me. Thank you to everyone in the Halo community for your support. Halo's future is bright. I cannot wait for all of you to experience what we have in store and cheer alongside you as a fan of the Halo World Championship in October. And there are also according to Windows Central, we got 3 people are replacing everything that Bonnie Ross did as the lead at 343 Industries. Pierre Hintz, who's been the studio veteran and production lead, is now the new studio head and is going to lead development on Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection, and future games. For those that don't know, he took over Master Chief Collection when it was a disaster and a bit of a complete and utter mess. Got a team going and fixed the game up. And made the game playable, a lot of new features they've been still adding, which is good if he helps lead Halo Infinite and hopefully fix issues and they're able to get things running better. Forge coming out, get updates sooner, more maps, etc. Brian Koski will be the GM of franchise. And Van Wyck will now oversee business and operations. Again, Bonnie Ross, I believe, did all of these things by herself. Let's see, and Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer on Twitter. Thanks, Bonnie Ross, for your contribution to the legacy of Xbox and everything you've done to expand the Halo universe experiences for millions of fans around the world. And the head of creative for Halo Infinite, Joseph Staten, added, Bonnie, I am forever grateful to you for you inviting me back to Halo again. He was part of Halo during the Bungie days, and then when Bungie left, he stayed at Microsoft, but had other roles at Microsoft outside of Halo. You'll always be part of this hopeful and heroic universe we love. Once a Spartan, we're always a Spartan. I wish you and your family all the best. From Joseph Staten. Also, Bonnie Ross has worked in gaming at Microsoft for over 28 years. 28 years at Microsoft and 15 years at 343 Industries. Moving on. Ubisoft, this came out today, announced, moving forward, their big AAA games will be priced at $70, up from $60. Take-Two was the first company to come out in 2020 to announce that they would be charging $70 for PS5 and Series X and S games. Sony, Activision, EA, and Square Enix has followed suit to be charging $70 for their big releases. And again, I believe it was with the 7th generation, the 360 and PS3s, when we started seeing games go from $50 to $60. So it's been like 15 plus years since games went up to $60. So now we're starting to see games go up another $10 to $70. I mean, you could say budgets of games haven't grown, but then there's new ways to earn money in games through DLC, microtransactions, and other ways. But yeah, this was announced by Ubisoft CEO. Speaking of Ubisoft, they've also announced 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Assassin's Creed games. Well, I guess technically 1 was already announced, but they actually completely unveiled it. Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out in 2023 for the PS5, Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. On the Epic Games Store, Ubisoft Store. Oh, yeah, as well as Amazon Luna 2023. This is taking the series back to its roots. More like the classic Assassin's Creed games. The Ezio games, 4, 3, the original. I think basically all the way up to the one before Origins. You know, the ones with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Or more big open world RPGs. While the other ones beforehand were less open world, less RPG-ish, more focused on stealth. So yeah, details on Assassin's Creed Mirage. It is a shorter, more narrative-driven game than recent entries in the series. Assassin's Creed Mirage takes place 20 years before the events of Assassin's Creed Valhalla as player meet a 17-year-old Basim, struggling with nightmarish visions and living life as a cunning street thief. Fortunately for Basim, the Hidden Ones, also known as the Assassins, see his potential and help him flee Baghdad to the Hidden Ones' fortress of Alamut. One of those may be right, but probably all wrong. As he learns their mysterious rituals and powerful tenets, he will hone his unique abilities, discover his true nature, and come to understand a new creed, one that will change his fate in ways he never could have imagined. Built as a homage to the first Assassin's Creed games, Mirage pays tributes to the series' roots as players join the proto-assassin order known as the Hidden Ones and grow to become a master assassin. Baghdad in the 9th century was a bustling metropolis, and it serves as the perfect dense urban hunting ground as Basim stalks his prey using the series' largest assortment of tools to date. While they haven't quite adopted the name Assassins at this point in history, make no mistake, the Hidden Ones are a powerful and established order with resources and the all-important creed to guide them. As Basim explores Baghdad, he'll be able to get contracts and upgrades from a network of Hidden One bureaus throughout the city, collect clues on his targets, and take them down with swift assassinations. So this is going back to classic. And I believe this was only rumor, so I could be wrong, that this game was originally going to be an expansion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but it got so big, they're like, let's just keep going and make it its own standalone release, and this is starring one of the characters from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Again, this comes out next year for PS5, Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Amazon Luna. And they also announced 2 other Assassin's Creed games. We got Assassin's Creed Codename Red and Assassin's Creed Codename Hex, as well as a new Assassin's Creed hub called Infinity, which would be kind of a hub world, a hub, I guess, app where you get access to all your Assassin's Creed games, or future Assassin's Creed games. But Assassin's Creed Codename Red is going to be, well, Mirage is like the classic Assassin's Creed games. Codename Red, or whatever it'll end up being called, will be more like the more recent Assassin's Creed games. Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla. An open world RPG and set in feudal, Japan. They state as the game is the next evolution of more recent open world RPG Assassin's Creed games and is set in feudal Japan. Ubisoft Quebec is the developer behind Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Syndicate. Will also be developing the game. We can actually might as well take a quick look at the 30-second teaser trailer right here. Not even 30 seconds. It's just, alright, it's Japan, and there you go. Ninja Assassin. I guess it fitted. People have been wanting an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan for a long time, and we are getting it. And being an open world RPG. Again, they also announced Assassin's Creed Codename Hex. They didn't really say much about it, but it does appear to be set during the time of the witch trials, which was also rumored. Is that when it's taking place? Especially when you look at... Well, we take a quick look at this trailer here. Trees. Trees, yeah, but the logo being made out of wood, you think the witch trials being set ablaze, being burned at the stake. And then background behind it. I could be wrong, but it reminds me of witches. The whole witch thing, you know. So during the time of the witch trials. It'd be curious if you play as a witch as well during the game. But yeah. They also announced Assassin's Creed Infinity, which seems to be a new hub for the Assassin's Creed series, which the codename Red and Hex will be part of. But yeah, they described Infinity as a place to connect players through different types of Assassin's Creed experiences, old and new. Infinity will also bring multiplayer back to Assassin's Creed with a standalone experience. Multiplayer, but standalone experience? We'll see what that means. Let's see. Also, Amy Hennig's Skydance New Media, during the Disney and Marvel Game Showcase last week, announced a new Captain America and Black Panther game. What is the title of said game? I have no idea. Not a clue. The game does appear to have 4 heroes. Or it does have 4 heroes that you play as. A young Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America. Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather, and the World War II era Black Panther. Gabriel Jones, a U.S. soldier and member of the Howling Commandos. And Nanali, leader of the fledgling Wakandan spy network. Hey, Ness, you made it. I am not alone. It's amazing. How are you, Ness? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, untitled Captain America and Black Panther game with 4 people you play as. And hopefully this music is not an issue. That is an old... I hate to say, I'm going to play this muted. You're sore but vertical. That's good. That is good. Sore and vertical. So sorry about this being muted, but you know what? It's fine. So yeah. Captain America, Black Panther game, set during World War II. Hydra as the villain. Clearly, hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. There it is, Hydra. It's like, their logo was in there somewhere. And Hydra. And Val. Oh my goodness, you have made it to a stream. How are you doing, Val? So yeah. Black Panther, Captain America game. Set during World War II. It has me quite intrigued. Mind you, this being a CG trailer in the game, I believe, having entered development relatively recently. I would not expect this game until 2024 at the earliest. Probably 2025 wouldn't really surprise me. With all the game delays, games taking long to develop, and this being a new studio. Yeah. How are you doing, Ness and Val? How's Arizona treating you two? Hot as hell? That's my guess. So yeah, I'm intrigued, but it's a long ways away. But speaking of a Marvel game we actually get to play sooner, Marvel's Midnight Suns comes out December 2nd for the PS5, Series X and S, and PC. It is also in development for the Xbox One, PS4, and the Switch. But we don't have release date yet for that. That's coming out sometime maybe next year. So yeah, Marvel's Midnight Suns has a release date of next year. And a leak release date. Thanks to a listing on Epic Games Store before it was pulled offline, because of course that's what always seems to happen. The PC version of the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection comes out October 19th, which we might get this tomorrow at the State of Play. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse the burp. It's wet AF over where you are. See, Arizona and wet don't seem to go together. When I think of Arizona, I think of dry as frick. Really dry and hot and miserable. Sunny and hot. So hot that airplanes can't take off. Sometimes, anyway. So yeah, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection is likely coming out October 19th. For the PC, as Sony keeps releasing more and more of their games on the PC. They've yet to release any games day and date on PC alongside the PlayStation version, but they are releasing games on PC now. And Nintendo games on PC? Yeah, hold your breath. Last couple bits of news. Activision has announced Call of Duty Warzone for mobile with a full unveil set for September 15th. 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. UK time. Also, the next mainline entry for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out October 28th for pretty much everything but the Switch. Everything major but the Switch. Let's see. And EA also announced the formation of a new studio called Ridgeline Games that will be focused on Battlefield, and it will be led by Halo co-creator Marcus Leto. And it will be focused on developing a narrative campaign set in the Battlefield universe. And I believe that is about it for the last bit of gaming news over the last 5 days or so. The next Game News Roundup will probably be a main focus on the Nintendo Direct and PlayStation State of Play tomorrow. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, today. Or it's yesterday. Or a week ago. Or years ago, depending on when you're watching this. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you've enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that jazz. Leave a comment. You know the YouTube algorithm. Every YouTuber says the same things, but I usually wait to the end of the recording. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching.